I'm building another crystal radio, and something I want to do like the last one is I want to put this wooden knob on top of the post, and let me show you how you do that. That's a little trick to it, and it works out rather nicely. It doesn't come off there, and it's a permanent thing. So all you need to put this ball on the end of here. First of all, you have to have your shaft done. So my shaft is done. I got the ball, drilled a hole in here, and the hole goes all the way through this side, and it goes part way through. You can see in there, it goes part way through the other side, not all the way through, like that. So that's step one. The other things you need some thread. Any kind of thread will work. Some epoxy. I'm going to use quick dry, but you can use slow dry epoxy. Something to mix it in. Tweezers, if you're like me and you have trouble working with fine things, you want some tweezers. And then I'm going to have a toothpick in order to apply the epoxy to the thread. So now I'm going to make a loop in the end of the thread so that when I pull on the long part of the thread, it will tighten that loop. So now this is the hard part. I got to push this, I got to pull the rod part way down, I got to put this loop through there and then push the rod back up and then pull the string tight. Now, so what I've done is I've poked that lasso through there so that when I push this rod through the hole, it should pass through the lasso and to the other hole on the other side. Can you see that? Yep. And then what I will do is I will pull this loop tight, and then we're ready for the next phase. Before I go on and do that, I want to make sure that everything is lined up right. Make sure I've got this rod up into the upper hole, so this hole doesn't go all the way through. This hole does. And what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to take a toothpick and I'm going to apply some epoxy to the shaft, and I'm going to turn this around, and it will wind the thread onto the metal shaft in there, and I'll keep adding epoxy, and I'll go back and forth until that shaft is pretty much covered, and it will hold that this wooden ball onto the shaft. You see that? It's winding up on the shaft. Now I'm going to have to add epoxy every now and again. Wind it back the other way. Get all the way down to the bottom. Sorry about the camera work. Needless to say, I'm going to have to clean up the excess epoxy when I'm done and get it out of that hole, because otherwise the bead will not turn. Okay, now go back again the other way. A little more epoxy. Epoxy's starting to get hard. This is like 90-second epoxy. And wind the shaft around again. Like this. All the way down to the bottom. And I'm going to have to keep turning this ball until the epoxy sets. Otherwise the ball will lock up. So now what I need to do is I need to do this off camera. I'm going to finish it up a bit. Put a little bit more epoxy in the hole, clean it up, cut off the string, and wipe up the epoxy out here before it hardens on me. So I'll be back and show you the result. Can't really see in there, it's awfully dark, but I finished it out with epoxy, and need to clean up the hole a little bit. I'll probably do that with a drill bit. But when I'm done, if I really want to, I can fill the outside of the holes with wood filler, something like that, and I will have a wooden knob. I've always left them open, but I can fill it with glue or wood filler or anything like that, and end up with a rather nice knob, and it won't come off of there. Okay, well that's it. How to put a wooden knob on a metal shaft, and in this case for a crystal radio. Hope you found it interesting and useful.